Hey everyone. I just wanted to show you all the assignments that I have to check. This is what happens when you allow your kiddos' work to pile up. I have like a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks of work to look over, make sure he got them right, if he got anything wrong. Mark those accordingly so we can kind of do them together after I give him another opportunity to review. I did this, or not I had my daughter do this on our Wednesday homeschool instruction day. I made these little flowers for her, colored them in, and told her, hey, color, draw. And she decided to do this wonderful masterpiece. All I did was outline my hand, and I outlined her hand, and I colored my hand in. I tried to have her color in her hand. She wasn't having it. She just wanted to scribble everywhere. So this is her wonderful work. So all I'm going to do is pick a sticker and have her put her sticker on there. Today is Friday, by the way. I just got off of work about an hour and 15 minutes ago, and we just went over his agenda. This is what we use for his agenda. All I have him do is put the date and write the assignments. So he writes the due dates of the assignments, what the assignment is, the page numbers, and things of that nature. And what we do as we go through all the assignments, he checks off the ones he's completed. And every day we go through, we add items, not every day, but on our instruction days, Monday, Friday after work, Saturday and Sunday, we go through his agenda. We look at what needs to be done. He checks off what's been completed. If anything is coming due, like this is due on 9/1, which is tomorrow, September the 1st. This is due on 9/3, Sunday. And this is due on 9/2, which is Saturday. So when we go through it, he has to box around the items that are due within the next day or two, so he doesn't forget to focus on those things. So we just use a plain old notebook. And at the end of the day, I have him keep his notebook open. So the notebook has to remain open in the homeschool room. And as we do instruction, if he has any assignments that he has to do as independent work or corrections that are required, again, he writes that down and he completes it on his independent days. So, the reason for this video, by the way, thank you for joining, everyone. I hope you had an awesome week, and I hope that you're going to have a long, prosperous, safe, yet eventful holiday weekend. But the purpose of this video is to go over these bins with you here. Since I only do instruction on Wednesday, Fridays after work, if needed, Saturday and Sunday, I like to organize all of the work in these simple bins that he keeps right in this corner here of our desk. So, as you know, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday are his independent days. No instruction. So on these days, he probably takes an hour and a half to 2 hours to complete the assignments. So what does he do on independent days? Well, we have a little sheet that I printed out for him that tells him what his routine is on those days. Let's look at it. He wakes up, grooms himself, he makes sure he eats, does his AM chores, and it outlines what those chores are. He has to do his memory work folder. I'll show you that in a bit. And his independent work includes the Bible, Beast Academy, math facts, copy work, logic, typing, foreign language, any incomplete assignments, any reviews, any corrections. It looks like a lot, it sounds like a lot, but he says it only takes him an hour and a half. Thus far in the school year, he has not surpassed 2 hours. And that's because incomplete work and corrections haven't been a lot. So he's maybe had one assignment to complete. He hasn't had a lot of corrections. If so, it's one or two problems he has to correct. So, yes, baby. Oh, okay. I'll let you in. 1 second, guys. She hears me talking. She knows I'm probably doing a video. So she's sitting in here eating her crackers and drinking her water and coloring. But yeah. In addition, on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays, on his independent days, he does science, nature, exploration, where he has to look for Netflix, YouTube, documentaries, videos. We have a lot of resources within our home in the form of encyclopedias, dictionaries, books, picture books, a whole bunch of resources geared towards science and nature. So he can utilize those resources and kind of determine if something sparks his interest. And going to the next, self-led interest projects in art, if anything does spark his interest based on what he's learned or what he wants to learn in science and in nature, he creates his own project. Right now, he's focusing on birds. So we decided for about 3 weeks, he's going to spend his nature, science, exploration time and self-led interest time on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays. He's going to spend that time in exploring everything about birds, migration, body parts, just everything. And he's super excited. He's already started. He has about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks left in that unit study about birds. If he wants to do art, we have lots of art supplies, all types, from watercolors, painting. He has crafting, he has paper, construction paper, drawing paper. He can utilize that. Online resources, that is, we have Beast Academy online. He has vocabulary. He has, I think it's called Brain Pop. These are paid subscriptions. He has Excel, I think it's called iExcel Math online. And he has some other free and paid resources. He can go to PBS Kids, for example. But academic online resources, he can spend some of his time doing that. Independent reading, he's required to read for 30 minutes a day. So he does that before he goes to bed. And then he has his PM tidy up before he takes a shower and get ready for bed. He has to make sure, those areas, as you can see, are tidied up. On these days, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, he's not allowed to have any type of non-educational electronics. So if it's not educational, he's not watching it on television, and he's not watching it on his phone, doing it on his computer. No screen time if it's not educational. And even if it is educational, he lets me know what he's doing and I approve it. Bedtime on these days are 9 p.m. So here are some of the stuff that's within this bin. I'm not going to show you everything in every single bin because I will do curriculum reviews by subject, and I'll go through all the subjects that we teach within our homeschool. So that'll be done later. But this here is from Saxon Math, and this is how we do our math facts. Some of our math facts. We have different charts that we place in here. Right now we have decimals and fractions. So that's what he's doing with this little game here. When we open this bin up, his vocabulary words, he has here. We keep, markers. He has crayons too. I'm not sure where he put them. We keep all his markers here and crayons. And this is also from, I think, Saxon Math, where we practice mental math. This is from the algebra unit. So this has algebraic expressions on there. And this has multiplication and addition, double digits, seeing if he can do mental math. So he does that when he wants to. Keep in mind, he's not doing everything you see in this bin or everything you see on this list under independent work every day. So again, everything under independent work is done between Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. If he wants to do all of it on Monday, great. He'll do all of it on Tuesday, great. All of it on Thursday, great. If he wants to do 4 or 5 things on Monday, 2 or 3 things on Tuesday, and the rest on Thursday, that's great too. Again, if he wants to do everything on this list under independent work on each of those days, he's free to do that as well. There's plenty of other things that he has to do on this list, so it's up to him what he feels like doing. But between those 3 days, everything in this bin needs to be done. Okay, here's his multiplication flashcards he does. Remember I told you about the Saxon math wheel here, the game? This is the wheels that actually go into that game. Logic, we use this for logic. He can do a page of this, or he can do a page of this. That's for logic. This here is for geography. For geography and memory work, he's learning all the continents. Well, he already knows all the continents and all the oceans, but he has to draw it out. And eventually, by the end of the quarter, he will be able to draw all the continents out by memory. So right now, I think he's on Asia right now. He's doing Asia. So this book actually tells you step by step how to draw each one out. And again, at the end of the book, he'll be able to draw and label all oceans, all continents by memory. He's going to go through this book maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 times before end of the quarter. And then again, we'll just see how that goes. I also have one for the United States. So once he commits that to memory, he can draw it and label it from memory. We'll jump into the United States one. In this bin, he also has his Beast Academy workbook in here that he works with from whatever he's doing online. This is his language arts, not language arts, his foreign language. We're doing Creole, Haitian Creole. So what he has to do, I write out the English version, the English word, and we put the Creole word in a column, and then we put a hint to help him remember how to say that word. So numbers, we're doing parts of the body, months of the year, days of the week, colors, calendars, greetings, family members. We've done all that thus far. So right now he's just practicing. And once he's got it all down and he can have a conversation in both languages, translating from one to the next, then we'll add additional topics on that. In addition to our foreign language, I also record every single session. Not every single session, that's wrong. I record all of the lessons on Evernote. So in addition to reading the words, he has to go to Evernote and he has to listen to the lesson and then repeat it just to make sure the pronunciation is correct. So everything in this book is for written purposes, making sure he can read it. And Evernote he uses to make sure he understands and he can pronounce them properly. In addition, we have the vocabulary, any vocabulary and spelling is in here, and then the copy work. For the copy work, all we do is we pull from our book that he's reading. Whatever book he's reading for his independent time, I just randomly select pages, and then he goes ahead and he copies whatever sentence or paragraph that I ask him to do. And that just helps with handwriting. It helps with punctuation. It helps with paying close attention to detail. It also helps him to understand what a good sentence looks like, what a good sentence sounds like. And it also just gets him in the habit of writing well so that when we do our writing assignments, he has something to pull from. So that's what he does on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. On Wednesdays, that's one of our instruction days. So what do we do on this day? On this day, he still does a few of the same things. He has to make sure he wakes up, grooms himself, eats, does his AM tidy work. He does his morning folder, morning work. Again, I'll show you that at the end. And his independent work. Oops, I put the wrong thing in here. I apologize. That's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. We're on Wednesday. I have to put that back in the right box. Okay. So I apologize. On Wednesday, again, he does his normal wake up, AM routine, memory folder. Independent work on this day is Bible. All he's required to do before we start our instruction, which normally starts around 9, is the Bible. So from the time he wakes up to the time we get ready to start homeschool, he has to have Bible done. Together time or Feast of Enrichment is like your morning basket. So we do like a morning basket, okay? But I don't call it morning basket because sometimes we may do it in the morning, in the afternoon, or sometimes we may do it in the evening before bedtime or something like that. So, and I'll discuss what is included in our together time later in this video. On Wednesdays, we review and correct all the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday work, okay? So we review it together, we make corrections together. If it is too many corrections and he was just not detail oriented and he was, going a little too quick, I'll assign that as independent work and he has to do it on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday on that day. But if it's something where he made 1 or 2 errors, we'll fix it and complete all that together. On Wednesdays, we do grammar and reading comprehension together. So I'm teaching a topic on grammar and I'm teaching on reading comprehension. Reading comprehension works 2 ways for us. We can read a random passage and then I ask questions. In the same breath, we can read a passage from a reading comprehension book and he can answer the questions within that story based on what the author provided as questions. The second way we do reading comprehension is based on the read aloud that we're doing. I'll ask him lots of juicy questions and I'll go over some of the questions that we ask during our read aloud. So for me, reading comprehension is not about reading a passage, finding the answers. I call that find and search. That just tells me you know how to find an answer in a paragraph and answer the exact question. That I'm not interested in that. I want to make sure you can synthesize, analyze information, put things together, use context clues. The answer may be 2 or 3 of the multiple choice answers, but you have to talk through how you got to your final answer. So reading comprehension for us, it's a lot of talking and helping him understand, or he has to help me understand his thought process and his approach for getting whatever answer he got, whether it be right or wrong. In addition, we do electives 3. So I go ahead and I instruct on electives 3. Electives 3 is our enrichment, our life skills. So this is where we focus on finance and budgeting, negotiation skills, leadership development, listening skills, consumer math, character development, soft skills, presentation, oratorical. We focus on all those soft skills or all those life skills that you may not get or will not get in school, or you may get it in high school, or you may get it in college, or you may get it going through life as a young adult. So I want to make sure I expose him to as much enrichment, as much life skills as possible at a young age. And as we go through the years, we'll just build upon it. It circles and spirals right back around. The next thing we go through is math. I instruct on math. So as you can see, The only things I instruct on Wednesdays are grammar, reading comprehension, enrichment, life skills, which again, it also includes safety, internet safety, gun safety. We may do go to a not martial arts, a self-defense class. We may go to the library, and he has to show me how we find a book through the catalog. I will give him random books, and we will go around the library, and he has to show me that he knows how to find a book on the shelf and also put a book back on the shelf in accordance to the author or the book number or things of that nature. So you can do a lot under that category. And math. So those are the only 3 things that I instruct on. And it takes me about 2 hours to do that. And then he has nature study. We normally do that together. Where we will physically go outside and we will take a picture. We will take a walk and we will take a few pictures of a building, another house, the grass, trees, the ground, the sky, a pond, whatever we see, whatever we find, we just take pictures, and then we come back home, we'll choose a picture, and then we will do it together. We normally do watercolors, so we can draw, paint, use crayons, markers, whatever, but we normally draw. I don't have him write a whole paragraph or write anything with this. He just creates a creative title for the picture, and he goes ahead and draws. Remember, on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays, we also have science and nature exploration. So that's the area where he goes into detail and he gives me information, facts. He colors, draws. He's telling a story of whatever it is he's learning, and he's presenting that to me. But for Wednesdays, it's simply art about nature, basically. And he has his self-interest led projects. So whatever he was working on Tuesday, Thursday, and Monday, he's just taking an opportunity to continue working on that. His online resources, he has to read for 30 minutes before he goes to bed. He does his PM tidy up routine. Again, no non-educational electronics, no screen time. That's non-educational on that day, and bedtime is 9 p.m. Okay? That's what is in our Wednesday basket. Let's talk about our Friday, Saturday, Sunday basket. On this basket, he wakes up and he does the same thing. Wake up, groom, eat, does his AM chores. And on Sundays, we do deep cleaning or a household or a home blessing hour where we, clean up the house. He helps, everyone gets together. We turn on the radio for about an hour, and everyone knows what they're supposed to do, or they're assigned a chore, and we get to it. Okay. We also do memory work. His independent work is Bible and Life of Fred. The Bible and Life of Fred, again, has to be done before we start. On the weekends, we probably start around 11 o'clock in the morning. That gives everyone time to, get up, do whatever you want. It gives him time to do his memory folder, which is about 10 minutes of his time. This independent work, he tells me it takes maybe 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes in totality to do. And it just depends on whether or not he can find the scripture or understands what's going on in whatever his reading is. And if he doesn't, on the weekend, he asks his dad, and him and his dad will do Bible study on that day for those things. We do our together time. And here are the items that I teach on Saturdays and Sundays and Fridays, if necessary, after work. African Studies, Science, Electives 2, Language Arts, and Math. Electives 2 is Writing, Literature, Rhetoric, Research, Poetry, Deductive Reasoning, and Picture Study. We do not do all of these. We loop them. And looping simply means if on Saturday I do Writing, Literature, and Rhetoric, on Sunday I'm going to do Research, Poetry, and Deductive Reasoning. Next Saturday I'm going to do Picture Study, Writing, Literature, and Rhetoric. Sunday I'm going to do Research, Poetry, Deductive Reasoning. The following Saturday, we'll start off with picture study. So we're just basically looping the subjects around. I don't do all of this in one day. I might do 2 of these items in one day. Okay. And if we're behind on something, it doesn't matter to me, but if I really want to get to something during the week, then Friday after work, I'm probably going to hit on electives too. Okay. ELR, language arts, we're only doing grammar. This is where we do our formal grammar. On Wednesdays, go back to Wednesday, it says grammar review. We're basically reviewing whatever we learned just to make sure you didn't forget it. And we're doing notebooking on Wednesdays for grammar. We are doing fun projects on Wednesdays for grammar. Let me give you an example of a fun project. We're doing a lap book. Okay. And the lap book that we created for grammar and writing is how to create interesting sentences and stories. Okay. And this includes a lot of information we learned in grammar, in reading comprehension, and in writing. So we created a lap book. We're not done yet, where he kind of puts things together so that he won't forget. We'll finish this next Wednesday. Okay, we're not done yet, but that's an example of what we do under grammar review and reading comprehension. You don't have to do everything from a workbook. Okay, you can do unit studies, you can do lap books, you can do notebooking. I try to make Wednesdays very interactive and fun, but our Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays are normally very formal, sit down at the desk. If it's a mundane day where that won't work, then we'll switch it up and we'll do something more hands-on and creative. And math. So math, I'll teach a lesson. On these, also, let me tell you, it does not mean on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're doing African studies, science, electives 2, ELR, and math. I'm not doing all of those on a Friday and on a Saturday and on a Sunday. I don't work it that way. So Friday, I may hit on electives 2. Saturday, I may do African studies and grammar and math. Sunday, I may do science and math. So as you can see, I may not go through every single instructional subject. Each of these days, I'm choosing which ones we're doing. If I do science on Saturday and I got through a chapter, no need to go to the next chapter. I'll just go ahead and do African studies, right? Daddy's home. Dada's home. Bye-bye. You just messed up my room that I just cleaned up. So that's how I like to do it. And doing it this way, I'm not behind. I'm really on schedule. If I want to be ahead of our schedule, I may do it every day. If I want to stay on schedule, then I just need to do it once or twice between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it's working great. In addition, his independent reading 30 minutes, his PM tidy up cleanup, and he is allowed to play non-educational gaming, and he is allowed to watch non-educational shows on Fridays, Saturday, and Sundays. However, as you can see, there's a limit. No more than 3 hours of gaming electronics, and his bedtime on the weekends is 9:30. That is our Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedule. Not schedule, I apologize. Routine. We're not on a schedule. If you look at my previous video, I did explain the difference between a schedule and a routine. As you can see, there are no times allotted to any of these tasks. Okay, it's a routine. If we start at 11 and we end at 2, it is what it is. If we start at 2 and end at 5, it is what it is. If we do some between 11 and 1, stop, pick back up from 5 to 8 o'clock at night, it is what it is. Okay, let's talk about our together time. In our together time, okay, I'm coming. You locked yourself out? Okay, 1 second, guys. I apologize. Babe, I'm coming down. Give me about 5 minutes. I'll be down, okay?
I think it's educational games, but this doesn't count as my game time, right? Educational.
No, today's Friday. Your homeschool is done. Today's Friday. You can play non-educational video games.
No, I'm playing.
You have a 3-hour limit on video games.
Yeah, but this is like Minecraft though. That's but still uneducational. I mean, it's educational.
Yeah, Minecraft is educational. I count that as educational. But regardless, you can play your video games. You can chat, do whatever you want. 3-hour limit. Okay, so I'm back. For our together rhythm and flow, this is what we do on together time. So remember I was telling you how on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have together time. And I also told you on Wednesdays how we have together time. This is what we do. Together time can take 30 minutes. It can take an hour. The longest thus far it's been is 2 hours. And that's because we have fun. So we do, for about 30 minutes, we do prayer, discussion, Bible study, scripture memory. If he had a passage to memorize, whatever, dealing with spirituality, the Bible, we do all that. We take 15 minutes and we do current events using CNN 10, Time Magazine, or YouTube Teen Kids. In addition, on Fridays into current events, Flowcabulary has a week of news. So on a Friday, they summarize everything that took place during the week, and we watch that on the Friday when I come home from work. We do penmanship or writing prompts. So this is where we are doing cursive for penmanship and writing prompts. If there's any thing I want him to write, we do that. Right now, he is writing what he has learned thus far in the past 2 weeks. So he has to pull together everything he's learned in the past 2 weeks, and he's going to write about that in whatever way he wants. It's free writing. In our writing, just as a side note, the way I do writing is a little different. I don't do this 5-paragraph essay. Each paragraph has 3 to 5 sentences. I want you to structure it like this: your beginning, middle, end, plot, action. I don't do it that way. For corrective reading is where I have him read aloud. And I have him read aloud from these SAR books that I have and from the McGuffey readers. And the reason why I have him slow down, pronunciate all his words, and make sure that it flows. I'm checking for fluency, decoding, accuracy, speed, articulation. This is the time where I sit with him and I really want to hear how he reads. In our homeschooling process, if he is reading aloud, maybe something for a particular subject, I'm not really focused on those things. We're reading to make sure he understands it, and we keep it moving. But for corrective reading, I'm not. We're not reading for the purpose of comprehension. We're reading for the purpose of what it says here: decoding, accuracy, speed, articulation, fluency, pronunciation. That's what we're reading for. That's what I'm checking. We also do growth mindset. We do that via journaling and conversation. This growth mindset is also a part of our electives 3, which is electives 3. I had a brain freeze, guys, which is life skills and enrichment. Growth mindset is all about having a mind of success, having a go-getter mind, having a mindset that you can do anything, having a mindset that you are a great person just the way you are, having confidence. You don't want to go eat? No. Tell Dad that she probably wants him to come get her from the stairs, down the stairs. Okay? So having a growth mindset. During together time, we also do read alouds. We do read alouds And we also do our Brave Writer if it's the season for tea time. If we have a literature project, we do all that together as well. As of this video, right now we're reading this book, Wonder, as our read aloud. This also included what I do with my toddler during morning time, because while my son is doing independent stuff on our instruction days, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes after work on Friday, I have to give my toddler attention or she's going to bother us all day. So this is what we do together, me and my daughter, for about 20 minutes for together time. Okay? So I hope this video was of benefit. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned at least one thing, or maybe you found at least one thing that was useful. Oh, I forgot. Something that's missing on our together time is foreign language. So although he does foreign language on his independent days, on our together time or during our together time, I also sit with him to make sure he's saying things properly. I also introduce new lessons that we're doing for language arts. And also during together time, that's his time to just talk to me about whatever he wants. It doesn't have to be scheduled. If he wants to talk to me about anything else that was on his mind, or something that he just wants to bring up, something he wants to do, something he didn't like, he talks to me about it on that day. We talk about it on any day. He doesn't have to wait to talk to me about any topic, but anything that pops up, we have a conversation. And that's what leads us to having 2 hours of together time sometimes. No pun intended. Together time sometimes. It's his time to just, bring up any topic he likes, and we dive in deep. And depending on what the topic is, if we're diving in so deep to where we don't do everything on our together time routine, hey, that is quite okay. Same thing on a Wednesday or a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If we are diving in deep on a particular area or topic or subject, I am not committed to a schedule where I have to meet all these check boxes or all these action items on that particular day. If we don't get to it because something was juicy and good, we don't get to it. Remember I said earlier in the video how during our reading comprehension, we have juicy conversations. We also have juicy conversations on our together time too, depending on our read aloud. Here are some of the questions that we go through. So we don't do all these questions, but these are just some of the questions that I go through with him, depending on what we're reading. And this is how we do reading comprehension. If it's not done the traditional way or the schooly way, which is read a paragraph, search and find for the answer, we do it this way, through conversation. And I love it. I love it. I love it. This helps him with his speech. This helps him with his presentation or rhetorical skills. It helps with confidence. It helps him understand what he's reading in a different way. He analyzes it. He talks himself through different characters. He compares and contrasts. Like, I have seen a major difference with my son just by doing this. So, okay, again, this video is pretty long. It's about 39 minutes long. Enough information, okay? So have a good one. Be blessed. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and like this video. Thanks. Bye.